It's a beautiful, beautiful weather event. I can't expect anything better than this. I think of all my 8 years hosting the events, this is probably one of the best weather that we had. So I truly appreciate it. I hope everybody can enjoy. After this morning's program, feel free to walk around and check out what we have out here to support the event. I want to thank all the sports people for the same reason. I think that without each and every one of you, we would not have the events that we have been having. So thank you so much to everybody. Also, I want to thank my board members for standing behind me, beside me, or in front of me. We all work together. We walk together. So thank you so much. Ê cú lâu này tụi bắt thằng đi giờ là cha lúc cả họ nó học á là thầu cú là tua lúc cả họ nó bên nhà học á xí này của hai nó đó này quay của hai nó đó này bên chỉ mua ba mua chế bên chỉ mua ý tưởng lý từ sáu bên chỉ mua hẹn lý nhá khát tư bên là thọ nhiên nát chỉ nát cho bên là sĩ đa sĩ ra bên là sĩ chữ gì bên là chế cái bát chuột we rise from the ground. Ê bé thì là ua tao bé lúc còn học, lúc nào bé lúc còn học, vậy lúc chua khó. Ê cú rong xe rồi cho thấy cho rồi bị phan nào, lời trong tù cho tôi sáng là bé, muốn chữ gì muốn đa cho, muốn lúc mình mỏ cho tôi một thấy bé, còn nào cú rong xe lúc nó này chừng cho cá tua, nó cũng cho lúc nào, I don't often, hay cho lúc nào trong này nữa, ta chỉ cú xa hay là bây giờ lúc công chung hệ lúc chưa sáng. Sư sinh vì lúc nào bây giờ muốn cho scholarship cầu phá cho là một ba cho bây giờ tôi chọn sai cầu lăng bây mua chống của tung xài mua bằng sự cần đó rong GPA share đi share tao is a very good reference ta chỉ bây tao xài cầu lăng sư bây giờ đi nào lúc nào bây cầu lăng nào cho đi cũng cái share của tôi đồng lại nó thiệt để tỏ ca bây hay người dân giáo nó ta để bây giờ còn cho nó cho chữ là sự sát thiên là ba bé mua cho nhiều scholarship là nhiều phụ đỡ thay xe là bây giờ tôi thành cần là cho cái xe nó mua cho là với khó kỹ thay xe với khó kỹ trong xe cho là nó cũng hay cho nên sẽ là hay tiền bây giờ trong này nó mấy cái lớn mua tao ta chỉ phải muốn chỉ mua cú sa thì bây giờ ilu còn học nhau lúc đấy chuẩn bị cả là one of the few là ilu là ở bên ilu là hiện tại bây giờ là ilu sẽ là một chút đó ta sẽ trở lại cú bao bây giờ mình nhớ cú đó cho mình tôi nhớ cảm bạn nè bây giờ mình cho nhớ bây mình có bây lúc đang lúc trong khứ tàu lại cho là cú đó cho được tua chơi tụ theo tàu này nó sẽ chơi lúc còn theo tàu này nó sẽ để cũng chân hai tiền lúc đấy chuẩn bị cả nó lo một nó bé cho mong bé cho cùng họ muốn tàu taxi bé mua very few của tiếp của tàu đi nó sẽ để cũng xa còn nên cho oni vật gì cho tôi chọn xài giờ như này chỉ tàu xài cho nhân lúc nào là còn nên cho shit cho hai tiền how far we have come bé xí cho một lý trả bé thì là cho được lúc nào em mua nè nhắn lại bé xa mua nè chắc bé lúc đó lúc rồi em bé giờ như cái đầu thơ là bé thì mất shit và bé thì chỉ cần bé thì chỉ câu cho cái gì xe bây giờ tí mình chạy chấp là những việc tên là cái dẫn xe tú sa tú nhỉ với thông tin mình ra bây giờ dòng chạy chấp là nên thì cũng mất thiệt đó này cho tôi chọn xài especially này cho xài cho scholarship nó moving forward cú sa cả toàn đây nó cho nhiên là bây giờ là sau này bây giờ họ cái xe đó này ấy cho cái như là một sĩ có một chiến sĩ một nông đề giờ ít phá xứ lò do trong hai tiền lò họ từ lò thiết bé sĩ trong một lý cả thiết tàu phải nhìn tàu là thấy con ấy cũng xã có khá nhiên là với họ có mạng cho con ấy cái trong một cần đó thì cho cá lợi tu thay cho rồng là bé chỉ nên mong.
And I am planning to get my technical degree in the fall of August 2023. And after that, I'm trying to get my associate's degree for my network specialist and network in IT and Neurosurgical Technical College.
Hello, my name is Pachia Yang. I am from La Crosse, Wisconsin. I am proud to be a recipient for this scholarship, and I will be proud to use this scholarship for my education and help provide for the community. I plan to go to UW Eau Claire for nursing and just help out in the medical field. Thank you.
As we observe Memorial Day, a time when we honor the service of those who have given the greatest sacrifice in service of our country and freedoms, we especially remember those who served with the U.S. during the secret war. Let us remember them with the laying of flags and flowers on the graves of all our service members. And when we thank our veterans for their service, how do we honor that service? Their service so that we can enjoy backyard cookouts, picnics in the park, parades and processions. But there's a big difference between thanking with words and honoring with action. Let us remember, recall, and respect through our actions. Let us ask, what might that action look like? For me, ways to act in service, it'll be my privilege to vote in the State Assembly to add Hmong history to our school curriculum because we share that history. I will act in service to Hmong veterans by voting for educational benefits for them and their families. You know, I remember when I returned to college at a very late age, I remember reading a book called The Split Horn when I returned to college, where it opened my eyes to another culture and the generational struggle to continue Hmong culture in America. This fundraising festival helps support both of those efforts and many more.
My name is Barb Herzog. I am the Vice President of the Oshkosh Area School District Board of Education. Today I speak for myself and not necessarily for the entire board, but I think they would agree with me. The United States has been described as a nation of immigrants. Immigrants have come to this country for many reasons, including to escape war, to have a better life, and to join relatives already here. Most of us can trace our own family trees to find ourselves, or a parent, a grandparent, or perhaps a great-grandparent. Like many immigrants of her time, Molly learned English while keeping her language and customs of her original culture. She also learned the importance of education and having a better life, and made sure that her 3 sons, including my father, were successful in public schools and in college. Hmong immigrants came to the United States in the 1970s for a better life and to escape war. Whether you or the immigrants in your family trees came from Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, camps, or other areas in Southeast Asia, the Hmong immigrants, like my grandmother Molly, have learned English and the importance of education and of keeping your language and cultures for future generations. I am very proud of the accomplishments of the Hmong students in the Oshkosh Area School District and across Wisconsin and the United States. Education is key to so many things in life. A quote I want to share with you is, "Education is like carving in stone. It can never be erased." There are countless success stories of immigrants who have come to the United States in my family and in each of your families. Let us not forget how each of these immigrants from our families made sacrifices in seeking a better life for each of us, and let us not forget those who serve in the military. On Memorial Day weekend, I often think of my father, who was a U.S. Army veteran from World War II, my brother in the Army during Vietnam, an uncle who was in the Army in Korea, 2 uncles who were U.S.
So, first and foremost, 各位重點是佢哋就係創出到咧，我睇係你創出到就係到花到有 chỉ hay cho phong cho dư cho những cho gì lo xử lý cho quý cho ti cho nên cho trả而是他后做就你错了做到呢，就真係就話了，我做但係就冇都未忙，但是之前插了我他是都幾費呢，我後天要做ที่哪條做ประธานมีที่ก็ปาคณะ board เราหมดจะร่วมห้อง service center เดี๋ยวเราคุณรู้ไหมว่าอีเล่งช่องกูยังอีตัวว่าตัวเกี่ยใส่จาลองเลยจะเป็นสิ่งที่ตัว Marathon County เราใช้เกี่ยตัวจงฟื้น Marathon County ที่รู้ใจกันเดินตัว DC Area School District I am a member of the DC Area School Board as board vice president and also a member of the Marathon County Board of Supervisors. But today I'm here representing the organization known as the Wisconsin United Coalition of Mutual Assistance Association, which is the umbrella organizations that represent all the Hmong associations in the state of Wisconsin here. The nó là có tôi hay luôn nó có hay luôn sẽ kiến được con hồ walk mà thế sẽ kiến nó cũng như trong xe để nó bây giờ tàu từ tàu hay luôn thay xe từ bây luôn mong National Labor Day Memorial Festival nhớ từ Oshkosh nóกูทักโคตันทอนป้า planning committee เรามาเทียตันทอยอ volunteers เทียกับ staff วันนี้โซลินชัวตูเจ้าเชียร์ตัวเขียไปลูกกงเชงหล่อสุดรุ่นบุ๋มเนาะตัวอย่างปีวันนี้โซลินชัวตูนี่เฉลยเป็นมองว่า community ที่เรามอง opportunity ที่จะเข้าตัวชินจีชินโจมาเกี่ยวกับเจ้าตัวลูกกงเชงมอง National Memorial Day Festival จะทัวร์ช่องกูทอนจอนี้โซลินชัวตูจงเชียร์แต่วันนี้เจ้าตัวนี้ตัวชินจีที่ได้รู้แต่รู้จอวันนี้ตัวเธอเป็นลูก community เนาะ
Okay. Now, we are Dr. Macy Hung. We are the CEO, not just the Hmong Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce. I'm going to say a few words in Hmong, then I'll say a few words also in English. We have position. We not just have position. Là tổ phải chơi tổ là có một tổ một cái trong đầu nó là. Not just in Milwaukee, bên main office. Not just headquarters, not just in Milwaukee. That should be more đầu office ha. Nhớ across the state. Ilu nhớ trong trà Wausau, ilu nhớ trong trà Eau Claire, ilu nhớ trong trà Green Bay, hoặc ilu nhớ trong trà Appleton, ta xin nói, hoặc bây giờ khi ilu nhớ trong trà trong Madison. Ta xin cho office từ gửi tổ, ilu office nó để đi mua ít từ tổ nên gửi tổ, nè bây giờ staff gửi tổ, lúc office đó, hay nhớ trong lúc office đó, từ tổ nên đó là từ business development specialist. Thì những bang cho tốt nghiệp của Lào luôn nhớ cho ý gì nữa, thì giờ ta hai chỗ này ta phải lưu học pa nhớ tao mong Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce hai chỗ này bao đây là phải tu trang tao mua nên gọi tao xong nó là, ok, để của tôi học từ thi bé từ tổ lúc còn hùng nó là, thì lúc sau sáng tao lúc sẽ hỏi nó ba chỗ này mình chỉ học tập với lúc còn hùng ba tao cho nên cho tôi được, ba tao bé lúc sẽ lúc rồi được. Ba tàu bên lúc state Wisconsin, lịch ra. Bây giờ lúc còn hụt thầu u ba mình chỉ hạt thầu u bây yên mua bây giờ tôi hiện giờ tới lu bây giờ mong giờ cứ sáng thế để phải chờ ôn lao luôn mong tới tới thao thang là tới thao phải bị chỉ搞姑娘giờ chỉ搞cô仔phải nhào được thế cô phải chờ lu ôn lao luôn
A wonderful Hmong food and listen to the wonderful music. But today, of course, the day to look back as well. Primarily to look at the ultimate sacrifice that so many Hmong gave in Laos during the 1960s and 1970s, fighting atheistic communism. At the time, the United States was engaged in a war with the South Vietnamese and the Hmong against Communist China, Communist North Vietnam, and the Communists in Laos. It was perhaps it was part of the most important war in history, and that is the war against atheistic communism. At the time, of course, they were fighting for freedom of the Hmong in Laos. They never could have predicted that what would happen would be freedom for the descendants, not in Laos, but in the United States. But of course, it's very fortunate for Wisconsin. We wound up having so many Hmong come here. Of course, Wisconsin has the third most Hmong in the country, right behind only California and Minnesota. And I am so fortunate to be able to represent so many of these Hmong. But the question is, what is the best thing we can do for all the people who paid the ultimate sacrifice? And one thing I can't help but think about as we talk about the people we know who died over there, frequently when I talk to members of that generation, I ask them, how many children do you have? How many grandchildren do you have in America? And frequently they may have 6 or 7 children. They may have 25 or 30 grandchildren. And you can't help but think that every one of those soldiers who died fighting communism in Southeast Asia, had they not died, they would have the 6 or 7 children. They would have the 20 or 25 grandchildren. I think the most important thing is to educate the younger generation and educate Americans on why they fought and why they died. You know, Americans are so spoiled today, they don't realize what we have and what we have to look out for. And of course, it's important to remember the words of Nikita Khrushchev, a communist at that time, saying that they would take down the United States, not militarily by coming here and defeating American troops, but by defeating us from within.